people argue that one of the evidences for evolution is because we see so many, we see fossils. And these fossils, you see like this figure where it's like half man, half ape. They dig up a fossil, or they dig up the remains, and they say, look at this, it's partially ape and partially human. So we see right here that this is evidence of evolution, all right? Guess what? I got news for you. You know how big their fossil evidence is of ape men? Let's call it the scientific term hominids, okay? You know what the evidence is? No more than a trash can full.
Yeah, I know.
If you doubt me, read this famous scientist's book called Bones of Contention, all right? Read that book, Bones of Contention. That is by a respected scientist who studied bones. And no more than a trash can full. There's your evidence of evolution. Now, the problem is this, okay, is that by that small little evidence, they base their whole eternity on. Isn't that something? Yeah. They would risk the damnation of their soul just for that one. Now the thing is this, is that, well, nevertheless, we still have evidences right here. Well, here's a problem, okay? There are a couple problems with this, okay? Is that, okay, let's just assume that you dug up a fossil, okay, and then you found an ape man, all right? Guess what? This is proven throughout history, and scientists even know this too, that they make mistakes. You know, I don't care if they have PhDs. I don't care if they're respectable paleontologists, meaning that these are people who study bones. I don't care about that. If you study every scientific textbook, you will notice revised for the 27th edition. This is the 32nd edition. This is the 125th, the 1015th edition. You know why? Because they had to correct their mistakes. They had to, you know why? Because they realized, oh, through this new scientific evidence, we realized that what we said was wrong earlier. So that's your backing point. Your backing point is, it doesn't matter if they're doctorates or respectable scientists. It doesn't change the fact that they are still human and they can make mistakes. That's what you got to argue for. Don't argue that they are wrong, but argue that they can make mistakes. Punch that hole in. They have to admit yes. If you're stupid, then you're going to say no, they can't make mistakes. No, not one student is going to say that. They have to know that, yeah, they can make mistakes. If they insist, oh, the majority of scientists say so, and, you know, no, they don't make mistakes, then you caught them already. You know what you caught them on? Oh, so you just take it by faith that mankind don't make mistakes, and you make fun of me when I have faith in God who don't make mistakes, huh? Right. Yeah. But, let's take it into account. Have scientists made mistakes with the fossils? Yes, they did. They did make mistakes with their fossils before, actually. So you can't really depend on what they say that this fossil is right, because how do you not know it's wrong? Because it took them decades later to find out, oh, we were wrong after all. That's why. Here are some examples. Piltdown man, all right? Oh, look at this hominoid fossil. We call it Piltdown man. He was actually a human skull and an ape jaw. That's what they did. Yeah. It wasn't an ape man. They just take a separate fossil of an ape, the jaw, a separate fossil of a human, and just put it together and say, ooh, this is an ape man. Yeah. I can do that too, okay? Today's paleontologists now know this is an intentional, deliberate hoax after being fooled for 45 years in writing 500 books on it. Look at that, see? So you're going to take by faith what scientists say. Now they know. Oh, we know better now. Oh, trust me, as technology advances, knowledge advances, you're going to find out you made more mistakes. Yeah. We dated to 500,000 years. That's what they dated. This is sourced. The source is by Howell F. Clark. The title is Early Man, 1973, pages 24 to 25. The fossil of Nebraska man belonged to a tooth from a jawbone of a wild pig. Yeah. Yeah. Quoted by sources G. Bergman, Northwest State College. They have a website link right here. Orc man, hailed to be the oldest human fossil. Guess what? It turned out to be a 4-month-old donkey. Yeah. Quoted by Skull Fragment, may not be human. Source Knoxville News Sentinel, 1983. Neanderthal man, another one. Its first fossil had a bowed appearance of an ape and a skeleton of a man. Oh, here it is, man. See, this proof is that through long ages of time, this ape suddenly advanced into a man, you know? We got that gap, all right? But they later found out that it was an old man suffering rickets. That's why his legs were bowed. John Morris from University of Oklahoma, quote, the article title is Neanderthal in Our Family Tree. All right, now, the thing is this. Every single fossil that they're going to find is going to come down to this. You know what it's going to come down to? It's going to come down to a man. It's going to come down to a distorted man. So how do you know, oh, if you notice the nose is a little longer, so we can tell that it was from an ape evolving to a man. Hey, did you ever went to foreign third world countries with noses that long? Have you ever been to mental nursing homes? Have you ever seen people who suffer some sort of sad disease that distorted their bone structure? Come on. See, they don't think of those possibilities. It's going to come from an animal, like a donkey, a pig, or a monkey, etc. All right? Or the fourth thing, all right, which I doubt, but it is possible, is that this is the most strongest argument, all right? The strongest argument is this, is that even if they found a fossil that is definitely very different, like it's somewhere between human and monkey, they don't think about this possibility. How do you not know that that's some kind of unique species that went extinct hundreds of years ago?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you never thought about that, did you? See, you know, that's the problem with these stupid scientists. See, they are smart. They know all these terms. And they will give scientific, accurate information from the books and the text. But you know what they're doing? They're sticking only to what they study in the bone. That's it. They don't look at the overall picture.
Right.
The problem is they have only one view of a narrow picture, which is very accurate. But they don't look at the overall picture. You see that? So yeah, oh, this bone, you can't refute it. It's not like human. It's definitely, you know, a little bit longer, different, you know. It's, you know, you can't say that's a human. It's from an ape or etc., 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 you know. But they don't look at the overall picture. Well, maybe that's a unique species that went extinct, all right? See, they don't look at the full picture. This is quoted by Albert W. Mellert. He was a famous paleoanthropology researcher. I believe it was definitely from one of those high-class schools. I believe it was Oxford. I'm pretty sure it was Oxford. But this man, he was the paleontologist king of it. He was really good at that. And by studying every trace of bone, he denied evolution after that. So here's their best fossil evidence. Forget all the other fossils. Let's take the best fossil evidence. If the best fossil evidence has problems, you can't trust the other ones anyway. The best fossil evidence is Lucy. All right? That's the best fossil evidence that they hail. All right? Quote, the evidence given makes it overwhelmingly likely that Lucy was no more, listen to this, than a variety of pygmy chimpanzee, and walked the same way awkwardly upright on occasions, but mostly quadrupedal, in other words, like, you know, on four, so he can't be a human, this is definitely some sort of monkey. The evidence, so-called evidence, he says, for the alleged transformation from ape to man is extremely unconvincing. So you know what he said? He basically pointed out what we concluded earlier. This ape is nothing more than some kind of unique species. You see that? That's what he came down to. Quoted by Albert W. Mellert, former evolutionist and paleoanthropology researcher. The title is Lucy, Evolution's Solitary Claim for Ape Man, by the CRS Quarterly, Volume 22, Number 3, page 145. So here's a common sense mentality that he's pushing. So you have to think about this with everything. Even if Lucy or any other fossil is proven that's definitely different, unique, it does not prove that a monkey evolved into a man. Because you have to think about that other possibility. It could be another of many species that went extinct. And didn't you know there's a strong possibility? There's a lot of species that went extinct. There are species right now that are very rare right now. They're trying to not make it extinct. I bet you if that passed out 5,000 years later, they dug up that fossil and then they're going to say, oh, here's a gap right here for evolution.
Right.
We'll take a horse right now. If that horse went extinct today, give it 5,000 years later, I bet you they're going to dig up that fossil and they're going to say, oh, look at this, a unique fossil right here. This proves that there was a bridge from this little animal evolved from this animal into a higher animal. You see how stupid evolution is?
Yeah.
Very smart, brilliant-minded, PhD, educated, stupid idiots.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it comes down to, see? You notice how stupid and foolish evolution is. Yet it's so amazing how brilliant it looks and it sounds. But when you look at the overall picture, you realize how stupid it is. I remember I saw this debate with one creationist and then an evolutionist. And then while this evolutionist was yapping about fossil evidence, the creationist, he only just said one thing about that. He just said, oh, how do you not know that's a unique species that went extinct? He just finished the argument after that. That was it. See? So you see the foolishness of evolution with their fossil evidence.